I was a selfish in my marriage. I've been divorced now almost 4 years, but I was married to my ex-husband 16 years and with him 18 years. And again, I was a selfish, nothing was ever good enough. I took him for granted. He seriously rolled out the red carpet for me. He was sweet, kind, generous. He told me how much he loved me 5 times a day. He told me how beautiful I was every day. If he'd wake me up in the morning, because he knows I love massages, wake me up rubbing my shoulders. He'd rub my feet every evening while we were watching TV. If I said, for example, oh, I'm craving a Dr. Pepper, he'd be like, okay, let me go to the corner store and get it. He adored me. He was amazing. Like on paper, it's what every girl wants, seriously. And yeah, I took it for granted. And now I lost that, right? And I carried a lot of guilt because I caused it. That's my biggest regret in life, is not saving, the whole family aspect. The grass is not always greener on the other side, ladies. It's not, you know. I'm good now. I feel great. And he's super happy with his girlfriend. And honestly, I could not be happier for him because he deserved to be loved and cared about and respected as he should have always been. So I'm so happy that he's happy. Anyways, what I'm saying, ladies, the grass is not greener on the other side. If you have a good guy, take care of him. Take care of him. Trust me, there's nothing good out in these streets. He seriously set the bar. He set the bar. And ultimately, what I always wanted, I had all along. So we have good right in front of us and we don't know how to take care of it.
The thing is, no one talks about how many women mess around and realize too late that the dude doing too much was exactly the one worth holding on to. We have covered a lot of videos, and sadly, they all end up the same. It's the same tired pattern playing out like a rerun on a bad reality show. She picks the good guy, not the guy she was obsessed with, not the one who gave her butterflies, but the safe one, the provider, the man who would trade his own comfort just to see her smile. And for a while it's all cute, family photos, home upgrades, stability, but deep down, she was never really in it, not fully. Then comes the itch, the discontent. She starts watching TikToks of women saying they deserve more, and suddenly she's packing emotional bags before she even tells him she's unhappy. She files, ices him out, grabs the kids, the alimony, and jumps headfirst into post-divorce glow-up mode. Wine nights, solo travel, and enough reels about healing to make it a full-time job. For a minute, she's flying high on that hype, getting likes, telling herself she's finally free. But here's the kicker. That dopamine doesn't last. All that freedom she fought for just made her less desirable in the eyes of the kind of man she still dreams about. Because men can spot it now, the bitterness, the entitlement, the expectation of being rewarded just for existing. This is the modern divorce arc. And the part they never say out loud? Most of them don't leave because of abuse or cheating. Statistically, they just want out. They're bored. They confuse lack of excitement for lack of love. And by the time they figure it out, the window to start over with a good man has closed, locked, and bricked over. And when the dust settles and reality hits, they all end up back online, not looking for men anymore, but for women who share the same regrets, so they can form a little sisterhood of shared trauma and recycled bad advice.
Such men soon will be bored from you. Your kindness will be taken for weakness. If there is one lesson I could teach all women, it is exactly this. When you are kind to a man, they will gladly take all of it. And then they will look down on you for giving it to them. See, men like to say that they want a woman to be their peace. And they do. They want someone to take care of them, cuddle them, ease their hurts and aches. However, eventually, they will see it as a weakness in themselves, in needing that nurturing, and a weakness in you that you're giving it to them. See, they want someone to be their peace. They will keep taking peace from you. They will keep draining you. But they also want someone, really, really want someone who will make them lick her boot. The one who isn't so kind to him. The one who isn't so dependable. The one who doesn't give a single about his bad day at work. He's always going to go back to the one that makes him lick the boot because that's what he thinks he deserves. So if there's one bit of advice I can tell you is never ever be a man's peace.
I've seen a few videos of Grandma Toxic before. She usually drops wild takes about relationships as if she's coaching a team of heartbroken Avengers. And yeah, in one of those rants, she even admitted her husband left her, which, let's be honest, doesn't exactly come as a shock. You watch 2 minutes of her content and you're like, oh yeah, I get it now. It's not life experience she's sharing. It's post-divorce fumes bottled up and repackaged as wisdom. Every video sounds like a therapy session she skipped but tried to monetize. Instead of looking inward, she grabbed a ring light and started a crusade. And the saddest part, there's women listening to her thinking, this is empowerment, when it's just a rerun of her regrets with a sprinkle of bitter aesthetics.
All right, here we go. Date number, I think, 4 this year. We're going to see how this goes. I mean, shit, at this point, anything can happen. He could have a wife. He could have a whole nother family. I don't know what's going on with these people out here. I don't get it. I get ready. I try to look cute. I'm single, 46, no kids. I don't have any baggage. I make my own money. But these men just want to lie. I don't get it. What is going on? I want to think there's something wrong with me, but I'm not real picky, and I don't necessarily have a certain type. I just want your shit together. I want you to have goals and be respectful and know how to communicate. That's all I ask for. It's not a lot. So we'll see how tonight goes. I'll report back to let you guys know. Wish me luck. Any tips, leave them in the comments, please, because I could sure use them.
She's 46, firing up date number 4 of the year like it's a lottery scratch-off, full of hope, low expectations, and a deep awareness that disappointment's probably just a salad away. She has been dating since the Bush administration and is somehow still shocked when Chad number 500 turns out to have a secret family and a Costco-sized bag of red flags. She also says she's not picky, but let's be honest, she's been ordering the same disaster off the menu for 2 decades, just served on different plates. At this point, she deserves a loyalty card from the heartbreak department, 10 more dates, and she gets a free therapy session.
If you're a woman who's done the work and you've healed and you've found your peace, you are going to be the most incredibly difficult woman for a man to date. Lean in. I'll tell you why. Because we're not going to accept bare minimum. We're going to be curious. We're going to challenge. We're going to ask questions. We're going to say when we don't like something. We're going to say when we do like something. They all say they want a strong, independent woman until they date one. And then they say, oh, too much hard work. She's too bossy. She's too demanding. No, we just expect a certain level and you're not able to provide that. So therefore, you've not done the work. You don't know how to date high value, strong woman because you're used to women just accepting your bare minimum bullshit. If you want a high caliber woman, you need to work on yourself. You need to understand what it is that you're bringing and you need to execute it because she'll just retreat very quietly. And at some point you'll be like, oh, what happened to her? She disappeared. So if you're a woman who knows her worth, you're going to be a very challenging person to date because you know what's expected and you won't settle for anything less. Hang on to that because he will come. And if he doesn't, you don't want some subpar bare minimum guy ruining your peace anyway. So you're better off without him.
She starts listing all these things like it's a strengths resume, challenging men, questioning them, refusing the bare minimum, and somehow misses the part where none of that is even remotely appealing to the kind of man she claims to want. No man is waking up thinking, I really hope the woman I fall in love with challenges me every time I exhale and holds meetings to discuss her feelings about my sandwich choices. If she's still single at this age with this mindset, it's not because men are intimidated, it's because they hear that speech and immediately start planning their escape route.